Hey there everyone, it's Misty here. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I am trying to get back into the habit of doing like my monthly recap and then setting intentions for the next month. New here and new to my channel, I'm Misty. I just share a little bit of everything for the most part. I am currently going through genetic testing, etc., to find a diagnosis for whatever is going on with me. 2017, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called Myasthenia Gravis. It causes extreme muscle weakness. In 2021, when my neurologist retired, she said, just kidding, that's not what you have. And I've basically been trying to get diagnosed for the last 2 years and starting another round of genetic testing. So in today's video, we're going to kind of recap how October went, what's planned for November. I'm going to set what I call intentions, and we'll talk about those as well. So if you're new here, please say hi in the comments. And if you're OG, say hi. How long you been with me? Some of you have been with me since the beginning. I started really documenting things in March of 2017, and it has been a rough go. It hasn't been easy. Today was the last day with my therapist. I'm not gonna cry, Misty. We're not crying today. We ain't doing it. I'm tired of crying. We ain't crying. It went well. It was nice to kind of talk to her and just, I don't want to say like close this journey for me, but to kind of get closure with her leaving. Whereas I was panicked and just devastated a couple of weeks ago. You know, I am so incredibly happy for her that she's going to have the opportunity to spend more time with her son. She was in the foster care system, so, you know, she kind of had to raise herself, so to speak, and she doesn't want that for him, and I completely and totally respect that. So while I hate to see her go, I am glad that I've had her guidance the last 9-10 months. I told her today, I said, there are some times you were the only reason why I was still on this planet. And I firmly believe that. So that was a sad thing that happened today, but it is what it is. So I do actually have a couple of really great things that came out of October. First things first, the spot on my abdomen was benign. Thank you, Jesus, because if you guys remember, I mentioned when I got the third-party results that it said at a very high risk for melanoma, and then all of a sudden these 2 spots popped up, and I was like, please, Lord baby Jesus, don't add cancer on top of everything else that I'm dealing with. I was just like, I'm not gonna be okay. Like, I am not gonna be okay. And luckily it wasn't, and I can breathe a little bit. And she said the other spot, because I went back in and saw her, she squeezed me in on Friday. She's like, nope. She's like, that is just a spot. She's like, there's some dead skin cells, and that's why you see it change color. She said, I'll see you in 4 months and we'll check over again. And I said, thank you so much. So I feel like I can breathe a little bit. Like, that was a breath that I needed to be able to take. The next thing that is fantastic is our health insurance is going to cover this new round of testing for genetic testing. So back in July, the end of July, I reached out to a genetic counselor. So the genetic counselor I reached out to is called Genome Medical. I will try to remember to link them down below. It's not a referral link. And you'll have to see if they're in your network, blah, 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 blah. So I was under the impression that a doctor had to order genetic testing for you. And that's why I was so flippin' pissed off at UT Southwestern's neurology clinic, because they just weren't sending in the paperwork, and we were going around in circles, and it just kind of died down. And thank goodness for my gynecologist. Even though I don't care for her, she at least is the one that referred me to genetic counseling. So how that works is you set up a time to call, and you kind of give them an idea of what area that you're questioning. A lot of people will do cancer. And in fact, they put me in cancer first. I'm like, I'm not interested in knowing cancer. I have other things to worry about. So I met with someone who is in the field of neurology, and she ordered a genetic testing for neuromuscular junction. So there's a set of genes that go along with muscular dystrophy, MS, etc., in that kind of area. And it came back with congenital myasthenic syndrome. But the neurologist I saw at UT Southwestern's like, nope, that's not it. It can't be it. That's not it. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So then we ordered one that was like more autoimmune, and in that one we got CVID. So that's common variable immunodeficiency, blah, 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 blah. Basically, your immune system doesn't work like it should. And I talked more about that in my last update. I Quest did send me the results, and everything came back fine. Only one of the immune globulins was close to being low, but it wasn't considered low. And I'm not panicking because she literally said, she's like, I'm going to guess that all of your blood work will probably come back fine. She said, but there's like 3 tiers. So we're going to continue exploring, and maybe this isn't the path, but we're talking about it. So I am now going to have total exome sequencing. Listen, this is the one area in high school I struggled with and just kept my head down, got the grade. Like, I do not understand how genetics work. So, but we're going to do exome sequencing, which is basically like testing almost everything. And then we're doing a particular test for a muscular dystrophy called FHSD. So Friday when I saw my immunologist, not immunologist, got my rheumatologist, got my bruise for my IV, she and I talked about all of the testing that's going on, and she's like, just keep me in the loop. And I'm like, I'm going to do my best. I saw my regular doctor last Thursday. I pushed this appointment out to the end of October because I thought by then I would have all of the answers and he could just sit down and kind of help me figure out where to go next. And instead, I sat there and just word vomited. Rob was with me and was just like, here's all the testing. This is how I feel. I struggled with mental health. We bumped up my bupropion. I feel it's working a little bit. But there were times that I didn't want to be here, blah, 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 blah. And just kind of talked about all of it. And then I finally said, I need you to have a VIP system. I said, because I've been seeing you now for like 12 years. And it's impossible to get in to see you. So if you could just have a VIP list, that way, those of us who are VIP can get in. He just laughed, but he gave me a hug at the end of it all because he's been with me. It's been 7 years, you guys. 7 years. October 2016 is when all this kind of popped off. And he's been with me every step of the way. And I told him, I was like, I'm tired. And I've told you guys that too. I'm so tired. That's what my therapist and I talked about today. I said, I'm setting intentions for November. I said, but I just want November to be an easy month. I don't think it's going to be, but I really, really, really want it to be an easy month. And so we'll see. What else happened? So that's kind of the good stuff. They're paying for it. I went today and had my blood drawn for one of the tests. And then they sent me a saliva thing. It was literally like I had to give them this much saliva. It had to be at least a couple of ounces. So I was just sitting there like spitting into this until the saliva reached the line. But that is on its way to the lab. I don't know which lab is doing what. I'm guessing the exome is through the blood. Don't quote me. I have no idea. But I do know it'll probably be Christmas or the first of the year before I find results. And I hope that's my Christmas present or answers. And my grown-up Christmas wish is that I get diagnosed and I get help. And that's kind of where that all is. What else? So that's kind of what went well. I picked up some new tops from Torrid. I have like wear around the house clothes, and then I have going out of the house clothes, and my wear around the house clothes are just stuff that I've either, it's like I've lost too much weight and they're way too big. Like I have a lot of 5s from Torrid and I'm like a 3, almost in a 2 from Torrid. So I basically pull things out of my closet and they go in my wear around the house. And then once I've worn them to they're no longer wearable, then they go in the trash. And that's kind of what we did. But I was looking for, there's this particular shirt from Just My Size. You guys have probably seen it. It has the flowers kind of crocheted on the neckline. Love the fit, love the fabric, perfect. So I went looking for some to have as wear around the house shirts, and they were $25. And I said, I'm not paying $25 for a shirt from Just My Size. So what I did, and especially since they are now with Hanes, and I ordered plus size shirts from Just My Size, and I got Hanes t-shirts and they don't fit. So anyway, so I went on Torrid. Torrid was having a really good clearance sale, and I ended up getting 9 new shirts. So 9 shirts went in. I think 15 or 20 shirts came out. I honestly don't know. It's probably not quite that many, but like cleaned out my drawers and all that sort of thing. So I felt really accomplished yesterday, but this is one of my new shirts. I think it's really pretty. I love this color. It went kind of neutral with the eye today. So anyway, so that's kind of October. I saw a dermatologist, a rheumatologist, an immunologist, spoke to a neurologist, saw my regular doctor, saw my pain management doctor. What else did I do in November? Genetic testing, twice to Quest. So October was busy. And I was like, yeah, November is not going to be very busy at all. And then I started going through my calendar with my therapist, and I was like, well, never mind. So I have several appointments coming in November. I see the new neurologist next week. This Friday, I'm filming this on the 30th, is this Friday I have my rhizotomy in my neck. This week is going to suck, by the way, because we are finally cold here in Texas. Like our wind chill was like in the 30s when I woke up this morning. I had turned on the heater. And I cannot be on my anti-inflammatory for the week. So I'm going to be creaky. I'm going to be really, really creaky. Last week, I don't know what happened, but I felt like I couldn't move my shoulders. I couldn't move my neck. So I have one of these heated massagers, and the massage kind of rolls, and I don't know if I bruised myself. I don't know what I did, but I feel like I made it worse. I was able to go get my nails and my toes done. I hadn't done that in a while. So October was pretty fruitful. On Saturday, I made a couple of pot roast for Rob, and then I made a huge pot of like hamburger stew. It's basically hamburger meat, mixed vegetables, and then I threw in stewed tomatoes, beef broth, and then a couple of packets of McCormick bag and season roast mix stuff, and it's delicious. Again, it's just I kind of threw stuff together, and then I made a tater tot casserole, and I ate on that this weekend. So my eating has not been great. We've talked about this every single video I've shared with you. And I was talking to April today, and I was like, I feel like I don't care. Like, it's like, it's not high on the priority list. I don't know why it's not high on the priority list. It's not willpower. I mean, you guys were with me for a 21-day fast. If I can fast and not eat for 21 days, this should be easy, but it hasn't been. And I don't know. I feel a lot of guilt because Rob is dealing with high blood pressure. He's never had that before. He was with me at my doctor's appointment, and I said, he's stressed and stuff. And I said, that's probably why his blood pressure is high. It's because he's worried about me. He's stressed about me. He's stressed about providing for us. I said, so I feel a lot of guilt about that, but also just, I don't understand why I don't care. I don't know if it's because something I can control. I honestly couldn't tell you. This weekend I wanted tater tot casserole, so I made tater tot casserole, and we got some Christmas tree cakes, and I had a symphony bar and cereal, Fruit Loops. That's what started it. I wanted Fruit Loops. I wanted Fruit Loops so bad. So my eating has been literally shit for all of 2023. My original goal was to lose 100 pounds. I've probably done that, but I've gained and lost the same 25 pounds for the last 6 months. And it just is what it is. So for the month of November, I'm not setting a weight loss goal. I would like to be under 300 come the end of the year. We'll see what happens. So I set intentions in 4 different areas: mental health, physical health, financial health, and then relationships. So yeah, and I've talked about before, I normally pick a word of the year. My word for the year for 2023 has been mindful. I wanted to be mindful of all of those areas. I've done a pretty decent job, but there are still some things I want to do. So I have decided that going forward, at least for the next 6 months, I want to pick a word of the month to go along with my word of the year. So my word for November 2023 is going to be consistent. I have so many things that I want to be consistent in, and I just figured that's where to start. So for mental health, I want to get into the ritual of meditating, picking a card, writing down my thoughts, etc. And I want to make that a part of my morning routine. And I want to create a morning routine. So right now, I wake up. If it's a shower day, I grab a shower and then get dressed and then go on about my day. If it's not a shower day, Rob will normally throw some lidocaine patches on me. I'll go and make a coffee, and then I'll sit on the couch with Roxy for about 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, until she's asleep and chilled out, and then I will get up and I'll come in here and I'll start my day. And I really want to get into the habit and make it a priority, and to be consistent at a morning routine, and to be consistent at meditating. So that is one of my intentions for my emotional health. My other intention for my emotional health is to keep an open mind for this new therapist. My therapist and I couldn't have been better matched. Like, I feel like there was some kind of divine intervention, and she was put into my life because I needed her the most. And I have so much trepidation and worry about a new therapist, mostly because the last few months have been so heavy and I've relied on her so much. And she had like the same kind of views as me politically, religiously, etc. And I am just worried I'm going to get her exact opposite, and I'm not going to be able to, like, this isn't going to work out. So I promised Rob that I would give the new therapist at least a month. I may give her to the end of the year if I'm seeing her every week. And if I feel like we're not a good fit, or if I feel like that she's not helping, then I will ask for someone else. I am not going to wait as long as I did the last time. I went without a therapist for for 2 full years, and it was just at the detriment to me, and I only hurt myself. So I really need that guidance. I really need that in my life. So that's the other intention I'm setting for like my emotional health. So I really want to get into the habit. Like, I want to create a routine. I haven't read Atomic Habits yet. It's on my TBR. But I want to get into the habit of, waking up, doing all the things, either shower, not, have my coffee, brush my teeth, come in here, put my skincare on, then meditate, and then go on about my day. And then for the evening routine, I want to kind of create something similar. I don't know that I want to take time out to meditate at the end of the day, but I may write down, like, I have a gratitude journal insert that I'm putting in my planner, and, just kind of taking a moment to write that down, taking a moment to check in with the card to see if I felt like it fit, or if I felt like I learned anything from it. So I just want to be consistent with that. For physical health, I want to be consistent with eating low carb keto. So if you missed it, Wes did a test of, I think it's Victoria. I'll try to remember to leave the video down below. She created this flour mix that is basically a 1-to-1 ratio for all-purpose flour, and Wes had used it to make America's Test Kitchen biscuits, and they looked so fucking good. And I told Rob, I was like, I really want to try that flour blend to see if I can make like peasant bread. One of the things he and I both love is rosemary bread. Central Market has a really good rosemary bread, but we really used to love the one from Macaroni Grill. And there is not a Macaroni Grill here in DFW that we can find that isn't like 20 miles away. I think there's one in Duncanville. There used to be one in Plano. two in Plano, and they've both gone out of business. But we both love that bread. And if I can make a low carb version of it, cupcakes, those kinds of things, I really want to try it. So I want to eat on plan for at least 25 days of the month. I'm going to give myself grace for Thanksgiving. The reason why is Rob and I are going to spend that with family. I mentioned before that I've been, seeing my aunt who I hadn't seen in 23 years, and they invited us to Thanksgiving, and I want to go. We haven't had a traditional Thanksgiving in years. We haven't had Thanksgiving with anyone since 2019, and I want to be there with them. And I don't want to go with a lot of health or food restrictions. I know that I could do keto, low carb. I get it, I do. But I'm going to give myself grace. So if I have a little bit of chicken and dressing, or if I have a little giblet gravy with it, or if I have a roll, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And I may not even eat. That's the other thing April and I were talking about. I was like, actually, I may not even eat. I may just have to make a plate and bring it home, because that is a long drive. It's a really long drive. And there's a lot of it where there's nothing around. And I cannot, I can't with the Wegovy. I just can't. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to shoot for 25 days of the month. I still want to try to give up soda. I had my last Diet Dr. Pepper today, and I want to be consistent with that. I know that there's science now that says that aspartame isn't necessarily that bad for you, but all the same, I just want to kind of be done with it. Now, I know that if we go somewhere, it's easier to grab like that if I don't want water. You know what I mean? It's easier to grab something like that than just because anything diet is hard to find anyway if you're at some dinky little convenience store. So 25 days out of the 30 for the month of November, those are what I want to focus on. For financial, I would love to sell at least 10 more card kits. So if you're unfamiliar, I have an alter ego called the Jolly Fit Elf where I make cards. And right now I'm in the middle of making Christmas cards. And I created these really all-in-one card kits. So all you need to do is cut out the pictures and glue them onto the card. I have videos for it. Anyway, I'd like to sell 10 more. They've actually sold way more than I thought I would. But I feel like 10 would kind of help us get some breathing room and get some money back into our sinking fund, our emergency fund, because we've been siphoning that out. So that is one of my goals, is to try to at least sell 10. My second goal is to eat out maybe just a couple of times. We don't eat out frequently, but Rob will sometimes go to Tum Thum and pick up a snack or something. And we do that sometimes, every once in a while we'll eat out a couple of times. And I really want to make sure that we're getting back onto a budget. So I'm going to get us back on a paper budget so we can see it, because if not, we're never going to get this back done. It's never, ever, ever going to get done. And then last, for relationships, I want to continue to kind of cultivate this relationship with my sister. I texted her a couple of days ago and was like, hey, I'm going under more genetic testing. Would you like the results? And how are you doing? And checked in about my grandmother, who is not doing well. Not surprising. And I want to make sure I'm reaching out to her at least once a week. I would love for her to come visit. She wants to come visit, but I'm trying for us to get the bathroom done because we have shit everywhere. Our mirrors are on the bed, the vanity's in the sunroom. I would like to have that done and taken care of before she comes. We'll see how we do. If it's not done by January, I may just invite her to come stay anyway, but we'll see. I want to continue to reach out, like I said, go see family for Thanksgiving. I want to start FaceTiming with my nephew again. My brother said he said Aunt Mimi the other day, and I was like, oh, I love him so much. So yeah, I talk to my brother a lot on, he's driving, so I'm on the speakerphone or whatever. And he hears me talking, and he's seen me before. We used to FaceTime a lot more before he got married, which makes sense. But I really want to make sure that I'm cultivating that relationship. One of the things that I gave him last Christmas was I purchased a bunch of books from Scholastic. My friend Lisa is still in education, and I was like, let me use your school. And so I bought a bunch of books from Scholastic, and I sat down and I read them to the camera and then uploaded that onto a YouTube channel just for the two of us. And I want to do that again. I still have like 5 or 6 books. I meant to do it every holiday and then every birthday, but I've fallen behind. But I want to make sure that I get that done. So those are kind of my 4 areas, my 4 intentions for the month of November. Again, I'm not setting a weight loss goal. I feel like if I'm on plan for 25 days out of 30, that will just come naturally. We finally have our cold. Like, it's cold here today. It was flipping cold. What's the temperature? It's 47, and the wind chill has us feeling like 40. This morning, I told Rob yesterday, I was like, I don't want to turn on the heater. I was like, let's just wait as long as we can. He's like, when do you want to turn it on? I was like, well, I'm taking a shower in the morning, so if it's 68, then we need to go ahead and turn it on. So I'm the one that woke up first, and I turned the heater on because I cannot, like, we have to shut the doors in the bathroom for me to take a shower because I just cannot get out of a shower and be cold. I just can't handle it. I can't handle it. Is it dried down? Here. So yeah, it's been really cold. And so, but I don't like iced coffee for the most part when we're in like a cold snap. So, and I don't like MCT oil or anything else in iced coffee. So I don't necessarily do a bulletproof coffee in the mornings when I am drinking iced coffee, cold brew. But as we transition into warmer months, I will get back to doing bulletproof coffee in the morning. And that I do mine 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 to 3 or tablespoons of heavy cream. I blend it together. I put in my sweetener, and I'll drink, like, if I drink a coffee at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I will not be hungry until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So I want to get back to that. But I also want to make sure that I'm still eating intuitively. That's been a huge goal for me for the last few years, because I want to make sure that I'm retraining my body to listen to my hunger cues. So there will be days where I will have a coffee and then I will eat whatever we have at dinner, but there will be days where I'm going to eat every 2 hours. It just depends on my hunger. Like today, before I sat down to put my makeup on to film, I walked into the pantry and I was like, okay, Misty, are you hungry? Like, are you hungry? Or like, are you just looking to eat? And I was like, I'm not hungry yet. So I walked back out of the pantry, came in here and started putting on my makeup. So I really want to be cognizant of that. I really, really will. And like I said, Rob's blood pressure is high. Mine is stupid low, but his is high. And I have a lot of wife guilt because I am the cook. I'm the chef. Saturday I made several pot roast for him. He put away. And then yesterday I smoked some just beef roast. We have an electric smoker. It's the best thing ever in my life. And I got all of that done, so we have some food to eat on for the rest of the week. He's trying to do lower carb while still eating some carbs. So yeah, it's a lot. I have a lot of guilt. I have a lot of wife guilt. And it kind of takes me back to when all of this was first going on and we weren't able to figure it out, and I was just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and I felt so fucking worthless. Like, I can remember just sitting at the table and just sobbing because I literally could not cook. And I remember, I was sharing what we were eating, and I got so many comments about, you guys are eating out too much. You're eating out too much. You should cook at home. And it's like, yeah, if I was able to, I would. And I still call out comments sometimes that are like, that's lazy. And it's like, some people have to modify. Some people have to, like, people are calling like meal planning with like Texas Roadhouse or something lazy. And it's like, some people or people will complain about there being, cut up peeled oranges for sale. And it's like, oh, that's so lazy. It's too much plastic. I'm like, yeah, but if there are people who can't, there are people who literally could not peel an orange. And so anyway, I just felt worthless. And it's like one more thing I can't do. And that's always been hard. Like I grieved really, really hard those first couple of years, but I've also grieved the last couple of years because we're basically back to where we started. And that was such a scary, unknown place. You guys may remember in March of 2017, I got a phone call saying I could have had ALS. And that sent me over the edge. And it's like, I don't know. And then my sister was telling me about my grandmother and how, she's really struggling. And I told Rob, I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. If I find out I have cancer, it's terminal and I only have a few months, I don't want that. So yeah, but it's just been hard. It's just been hard. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's been, I will say that I've felt the bump up in the bupropion. And I told Rob, I was like, it's hard to explain. It's like, it's not that I don't feel the stress. It's that it's manageable. Like I am not at the very end of a very frayed rope. I have like one knot left and I'm hanging on to that knot. So I really need answers. Like I need closure, so to speak. And this kind of 2-year thing that I've gone through since getting that phone call from my neurologist. So yeah, that's a lot. I've probably been talking for 97 minutes. I apologize. I mentioned in my last video I probably wouldn't vlog. I honestly don't know. We are probably not gonna do it this weekend, but sometime next week we are gonna put up the Christmas tree. And I've decided just to put up our big beautiful tree because I want to put up the garland on the fireplace. Christmas makes me happy. A Christmas tree makes me happy. And I know just sitting down with the lights on and the TV on with Rob beside me on the couch is just going to be heaven. And I cannot wait for that. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. I managed not to cry. I almost did, but I managed not to. So I will try to update you guys maybe once a week. Like I said, I am not going to promise that I will vlog, but maybe I will start vlogging. I do the vlogging just to keep me accountable. I told her, I was like, I feel like I need an accountability jar or something. I was like, I need something tangible. I am a concrete learner. Like I need something concrete. I need something tangible. So I was literally looking up reward jars on Amazon and I made one. They have one that's flat. And it's like Plinko, you just drop in like when you meet a goal or whatever. And I'm like, I want something like that. I have no idea what my goal will be, if I reach it, but just something tangible, something where I can see that I'm putting in the work. And I know the number on the scale and I know the pant size dropping. I know all of that too. But I also feel like I need a physical in my face reminder that I am putting in the work and I am doing okay. So I may end up picking up one of those. I'm trying my hardest to set myself up for a successful November. I'm trying to set myself up so that I am not as stressed as I have been in the month of November. The month of October, I just want to be able to breathe. I just want to be able to just breathe. Like that is what I want for me. That's what I want for Rob. I just want us to have the opportunity to just breathe, to just flip and breathe. So yeah, so that's it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah. Love you guys. What? Oh, I got a comment. And you guys didn't see it because I deleted it. But it was basically like I'm unsubscribing because, complaining about health is a first world problem. Health is universal. Like everybody on the planet has the right to be healthy or should have the right and access to health care. So I don't consider my health a first world problem. And if you do, then that's probably not the channel for you. And I hope to hell you never get sick. Because then it'll be a first world important problem to you. So, or not a first world, it will be an important it'll be important. Like, I don't consider that, you know, first world problems. Like not having, you know, my bathroom done, that's a first world problem. We sit in privilege that we have a house that we're able to pay for now, that already has a bathroom that's done and ready to go. But I would like for it to be remodeled, and that's a first world problem. But trying to get diagnosed, trying to get treated, that's not first world problems at all. That's universal. Everybody has the right to that, or at least should have the right to that. So, yeah. So like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the card kits if you're interested. I also sell cards that I hand make. Those are all listed down below. I did a really cute one last week. If I can remember, I'll pop up a picture. But it's basically, I have this little kitty stamp that looks grumpy and it reminds me of Roxy. And it's actually a Valentine's Day stamp. But I also have the stamp that says it's the most wonderful time of the year. So I stamped and colored this cute little cat. And then I did a word bubble that says meh. And then I scratched out wonderful in the sentiment. I love it. I'm like, I may keep that one forever. So yeah. All right, friends, I love your faces. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.